More actions. Yeah, wonderful.
Thanks. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Good evening, everyone. As Thomas already told, my name is Almira Hasanovic, and I am one of 7 volunteers from local group Darmstadt. It is really my pleasure that I am moderator tonight for this presentation, Risk Management from the View of Executive Management, that will be presented by our guest speaker, Mr. Ayman Sadek. First, I will tell you something about our agenda. First 10 minutes are reserved for to say something about suggested conduct, then to present our PMI Germany chapter and local group Darmstadt, and to introduce our today's speaker. Then next 1 hour and 10 minutes are for presentation that will be provided by Ayman. And last 10 minutes, we would like to receive some feedbacks from you related to this event. Then we will provide you information about our next events and PDU claim code. Please, during this presentation, mute your microphone. Use your full name to help us identify your videos. Feel free to turn on your video if you like. Of course, you can use chat window to ask questions, comments, or share your LinkedIn link for networking. You are welcome to contact the speaker directly with any follow-up question. And this session will be recorded, and it is allowed only to organizers. Now I would like to present our PMI Germany chapter that is founded in 2020 through the merger of 3 former chapters. Our chapter now spans 5 regions and more than 25 local groups. We have approximately 11,000 PMI members across Germany who are coming from 43 different countries. Nearly 5,000 of those are part of our chapters and international network. Our work is powered by a dedicated team of over 150 volunteers. Together, we are committed to supporting the project management profession by empowering leaders, facilitating continuous learning, forcing networking operations and driving social impact through projects and working groups on regional and local events. Now, let me tell you a bit about who we are. Local group Darmstadt is the English-speaking community. Our community is built by volunteers from 6 different countries who are working together to create a meaningful learning space for professionals across borders. We have 3,300 people. We have also an average 35 attendees, and more than 110 people participate more than 10 times on our events. Every month we organize 2 free online events and 1 round table. Behind all of this, we are a team, as I told already, of 7 people. That is Thomas Valenta, who is with us tonight, who is joining from Bad Kreuznach in Germany. Then Florian Adrian, our team lead from France, based in Darmstadt. Then Mohammed Razi, originally from Afghanistan, but he's also based now in Darmstadt. Then Tufik Habli, who is contributing from Beirut. From Lebanon, Oля Stefanovska, she's joining us from Stuttgart, but she's originally from North Macedonia. Maria Robi, also from North Macedonia, but based in Brussels. And myself, Almira Hastanovic, I'm based in Vittelborn near Darmstadt, and I'm originally from Montenegro. We are very happy to have you tonight here with us. And now I have pleasure to introduce our speaker, Ayman Sadek. He's executive leader and risk management professional. He had over 25 years of experience in executive management, project management, and operations. Ayman is managing director and board member in the maritime industry. He has background in mechanical engineering. He's also PMI certified, PMP, RMP, PBA. keep a strong focus on enterprise risk management, leadership, and organizational resilience. And Ayman is also active PMI volunteer and speaker. Now, Ayman, it is time for your presentation. So I hope we will enjoy, and this will be one very interesting session. So please share your presentation with us.
First of all, thank you, Almira, for your introduction. On the other hand, on the other side, I want to appreciate your great chapters, the German chapters, and all of the people there. I hope I'm not bothering them, and I hope my presentation gain your satisfactions. Well, let's start why I'm talking about the uncertainties or the risk management by itself. The risk management now has become a crucial issue in all of the companies, all of the organizations, because every organization facing an amount of uncertainties, we cannot stop it. And the problem came here with the executives when they want to transfer these risk strategies to the other leaders in the company or other staff managers in the company. They found a gap between them. This representation will represent where is uncertainties coming from, what is the gap come from, how we can provide a solution for representing these or for solving these gaps. The contents in this webinar, I will start this uncertainty is rising. We'll show how risk perceptions differ across rules. No one can see the risk as the other one sees. Why you are using standards? Because it is aligned understanding. We'll talk about this. Assessment enable prioritizations. What is the importance and what is unimportance from the risks? Not every risk can deal with it with high perception or high consideration. Responses derive value and control. How we can control this response. The monitor sustained decision quality. After all of this, we'll see if you have this structure, you will have a good decision making inside the company. Now we start with the uncertainty is rising. As long as the organization is going and working, it must face a certain amount of uncertainties. Even for these organizations has no innovation at all or innovation strategy. They must face uncertainties coming from the outside. Like that, what happens to COVID? It is a pandemic, world pandemic, global pandemic. Some also external sources like market growth or even political change. And I think nowadays we are facing most of these things. We found that the executives see all of these uncertainties as a case studies for a new business and they want to make it a new business, or even to stop it, they make a new project or a change management. But if we're looking good, we found the rest of the staff doesn't want to make any changes, afraid to get into a new projects because for a certain reason or some reason. One of them that he is unfamiliar with the risk management. Not every manager inside the company must be familiar with it, but he must at least know the certain amount of this risk management to be familiar with going to happening. Now we found a disconnection between the executives and the other managers inside the company, and we don't say it this a hard disconnections, but also the executives have their point of view and the other managers has their point of view, and we obey any of them. That will lead to losing a lot of opportunities we can take, because as we see that opportunities, it's kind of risks. Also, if we are going afraid to solving the issues, our company or our organization will be fragile to any issues will happen. So we want to bridge this gap between both of them. From my point of view, the familiarization with the standard will make everyone aware of the certain amount of this uncertainties. Also, we must be put our plan or make uncertainty as a main policy inside the company. We'll see now how. The other slide is talking about the risk perceptions differ across rules. Both of executives and the project managers or other managers inside the company must know that no one sees the risk as the other one sees. All what is executive concerned about the benefit of the company, market trends, competitions, how to compete, how to make another goal. In the other hand, project managers, even the function manager or site managers, want to concern or to be care about the operational risk, daily operational risk sometimes, and want to make sure that deliverables will come at time with the same quality and under the budget. This misunderstanding between both of them sometimes leak operational fragility, as I said, will miss a lot of opportunities because not we are sharing together, and we lose a lot of things. We must make this communication between both executive and other managers. That's why I suggest what we have to work under the umbrella of a lot of the standards, not only BMI, not only ISO standards, because actually, if you are familiar with these all of standards or what the responses, at least with these standards and analysis, you will have a robust decisions and robust studies for the all risk that you have. Even if you change your place from another place to another, if you have a global projects or something, you will facing problems about terminology between the standards, but the meaning will remain the same. To solve this problem, I want everyone to understand the policy of the organization. Believe me, the executives doesn't want to take a new projects by themselves. They want to take a new project to grow the company. Also, they are facing a lot of competitions. Another staff doesn't know it or don't know about it. So we must make a periodical meeting between both of them. We must make the strategy or the policy clear for everyone inside the company. And also, we must tell them this under the standard so no one will be afraid. It is not a point of view of the CEO or the point of view of the chairman itself. We are talking about something it should be known for everyone as studied. So we have to reach to some objectives must be inside the company to to manage the risks. Like we start with the risk assessment. This risk assessment actually detects the internal and external factors that might affect objectives and evaluate likelihood and the impact of the risks. After this, we have risk, as we'll see later. We must make risk response planning for every risk we're facing, and we have a strategy for this plan, and we must design this strategy to withstand any action or any issues will be faced. Risk management and monitoring and control. We must make sure all of these are controlled. All of these are responded according to the plan, and all of these plans under the policy of the company. After this, we have a robust, strong support decision making. Everyone will be aware and everyone will be happy with it. Now, risk assessment. As the British standard defines the risk assessment, it is an overall process containing the risk identification, risk evaluation, risk analysis. This is the main important thing about the risk management. First of all, we must identify risk, then we must evaluate and analyze risk to make a good point of view for or visual point of view for stakeholders, for the board of meeting to approve our strategy plan to respond to all of these risks. The key consideration here, we must involve everyone in this risk assessment, especially the CEO or the sponsor, because they share the risk attitude and the financial priorities. They must share it with us, and we must share our needs for them. Why we want these budgets and why we will make all of these response plans. Then we start with identified risk or risk identification. Actually, it is the first essential step in all of this because now we are materializing the uncertainties. We are making a list of the risks that we may face. And this risk could be threats or opportunities, whatever it is. And you can only manage things you are aware of, as John Nicholas said and Herbert said. Yes, we must know what we are facing, what we are dealing with. And also we have some key principle here. We must know the individual risk tolerance about risks because some risks they might see it not a risk at all. That's why you must share them with us or their tolerance in the risk. And we must be sure that risk attitude is varying from staff because it depends upon the experience of everyone. As long as you get more experience, you have another decisions about your risk attitude, risk taking. We must also know any risk might contain threats or opportunity. When we are going to identify the risks, we make sure that these risks also containing the opportunities and threats, because both of them will have a strategy and we make a plan for it. First of all, that to make it easier and to make it more effective, we want to classify the risk and recategorize them. We are classifying the risk into external and internal risk. External risk, something like when you have a shortage in material or labor is a shortage in the company. Some other of this like the weather change that affect your project, affect your work. Market condition or competitors, you have nothing to do with it. When your competitors increase or you have a sudden action for you, but that might be a risk for you also. Internal risk, I think we all pass with the staff turnover for any reason. For any reason we don't know, maybe another company is hiring, another country is hiring, we'll face all of this. Also, we faced a lot of data loss when we are changing to our numerical control or numerical management. Sometimes that we found our staff is not well trained for a new technology, and we must face all of this. Then we want to categorize the risk. The risk categorizing here, actually the most known, it is a strategic, which is market competition, mergers, regulatory changes. Also operational, we found this operational, especially in industrial zone or in structure, when you have some equipment failure or workforce storage or cyber attack for most of companies now facing the same things. Also financial, the managers has nothing to do with it when they have a budget cut or currency fluctuation, funding risks, compliance. These compliance, sometimes you find a sudden change of laws, sometimes you find audit of the risks, non-adherence. Then you are facing someone, from my point of view, it is the most important, is the reputational risks. This actually coming for the customer dissatisfactions, and nowadays in media incidents which happen and everything could be recorded and captured. So everyone must be careful about this. Also the environmental here mean not the environmental laws, it is what might happen that any natural disasters, climate sudden change, technological system failure. We always hear now about the system failure. Take care, this system failure happened, especially in the banks and the companies. And give an example for this, because these names change from country to another or company to another. This example for a construction and infrastructure company might consider crane collapse or equipment malfunctions causing injury as operational risk. Non-adherence to building codes, labor laws, or environmental assessment, they consider it as a compliance risk. And delay or quality failure leading to public security and client dissatisfaction as a reputational risk. Now, how we are going to know about these risks? We must have our own tools. The most useful tool or most useful tool, the tool that I wrote it is, first of all, the SWOT analysis. I think we all know the SWOT analysis, which identifies the strategic threats and opportunities. Then the pistol analysis, it is a must, especially nowadays, even if you have a project in your country, the laws change, or outside your country, you must be scanned for the political, economic, social, technical, legal, environmental risks. You must be aware about it in every place you have. Process mapping, this is good when you want to identify the weak points or failure modes in your process or your project, for example. Now, we must make sure that we have a risk checklist because sometimes we have a common risks known for several departments. Also, you don't want to miss any risk to treat with. Of course, as long as we are going to share, by the way, we must share every level in the company. I will talk about this. To make sure that we are sharing every level in the company, we'll need interviews, we need a workshop, we'll need a budget for it, a time for it, for this works. We should not ignore it because it's very important. The last thing, it is very important thing, as long as it is written in true, the historical data and incident log. This is most helpful when you get the previous risks or identified risk in a similar project or even a similar operation. And sometimes the risk, internal risk concerning with the company, because some company have a seasonal problems or seasonal risks happening. Again, we must consider make all the level share with this with identification risk. Like we'll see the strategic levels because they see the risk from another point of view, to the risk term for the long term of the vision, investment, for the market position itself. Tactical level, like most of us for the program, project managers, department or IT systems. The operational level that is important also. The people facing risk day by day, coming from the safety issues or logistics or other things in the process of our operations. What we have from this, the first output, actually now we have the first paper or the first register, which is saying that all these uncertainties are true. And now we are identifying these uncertainties or materializing uncertainties to risks. So we're giving each one of them an ID. We'll name this risk and give it to the owner of the risk. We'll make for each risk an owner. And this is very important. After this will remain because this risk register will be with us until the end of the process, maybe until the end of the project itself. Now what? Now we have risk, already identified risk. What we're going to do? Which one of them is more important? How can we determine this risk on the company? What is going to do? Actually, risk came from analyzing it. Analyzing the risks provide the evidence needed for the risk treatment after these decisions. Also, it is essential what is the highest risk and where it is originate. What is the value of each risk? How do we determine what is the probability and this value coming from the probability of happening and the impact? I'm giving here a small example. Here it is likelihood. The man when he get outside, he found the sky is cloudy. He was wondering taking the umbrella or not because maybe it is raining or maybe it is not. Then when it's rain, what's going to happen? We found another side, two staff of people. The construction worker, of course, they are mad because this will delay them and will this affect their work. In the other side, we found the farmer, he's happy because this raining, watering his land and reduce an effort and money for him, for the life. We are using two main ways in the risk analysis. Actually, these ways, it will be like qualitative and quantitative analysis. The qualitative analysis based on mostly on the experience judgment. You get experienced people, they will tell, looking for this example, at least, well, looking to the sky, this is going to make a rain, this is not will rainy, it is not a rainy day, only experience. And we ranking is with low, medium, high, something like this. Also for the impact, what is going to happen for this worker? Oh, they have a high effect, minimal, low impact, only with explanations like this, not number. And this will come in the matrix, and we have this matrix, maybe we'll give it for each name of them, the low or medium or high, we'll give it a number, and this number we can calculate it to determine the risk impact or the risk value itself. On the other hand, we'll find the numerical coming from the quantitative risk analysis. It is actually most used as a financial impact for the schedule impact, delay in days, or financial impacts. This is delay in dollars or delay or money. And this is how we can calculate it automatically. And those are most tools and techniques are using in these systems. After this, we have a main output from this operation, which is called risk matrix or heat map. The heat map, as we see it here, it is a map between two coordinates. One of them is the impact and the likelihood. And from these two impacts, we can find what is the most important risks to deal with or start dealing with and what is not. Now, when we reach this point, we already have risks. We already have value for each risk. We must make a response for them. We will not stay like this without something. Also, before when we have this, we must record as the risk register the probability and the impact and the score of them. After this, here we'll start dealing with the response for each risk of those risks. What is the response? What we should consider about this response? Actually, this response here starts with the most, first of all, the experience of the project manager, of the manager itself. And we have no experience, he must contribute with some subject matter expert to solve this problem. Because how to choose the right strategy for each risk, it is not an easy way. It requires some experience and knowledge, of course. Also, this risk response plan must be aligned with the company policies. Also, don't affect the strategy of the company itself with the organization of the company. And another thing you must be aware, each risk response might have something we call as a secondary risk. These secondary risks must be treated well and must be identified when we find a plan for it, because sometimes the secondary risk giving more effect than the first main risk. I will say a little example of this, like the medicine. Someone has a flu and went to the doctor, he will write a medicine for him. But suppose this one have a high blood pressure. Then the doctor will stop this kind of the medicine and will not use it with him and will change with another strategy to him. Another thing that this we must make update for the register, must make risk owner understand this response, as we said before, because we are responsible for it. And we must be aware that we may face a lot of terminology with standards. Not every standard says the same terminology, but all of them approve with these main strategies. Maybe the PMI make a new one or one more strategy, and the other standards only maintain 4 strategies. The BMI makes them 5, and I think this is more valuable. What is those strategies? For the threats and opportunities. 5 for the threats and 5 for the opportunities. First of all, for the threats, there is escalate, and we avoid, and we transfer and mitigate or accept. On the other hand, for opportunities, we escalate, explode, share, enhance, or accept. We'll talk about each one in details as much as we can. And before we start, again, we must know the risk attitude for each stakeholder. And now for the stakeholders, by the way, they have a visual point of view about the risk in the heat plan. Also, they can see figures in our risk registers. We'll start with the escalate. By the way, escalation is only mentioned in the BMI, not in the other standards. It deals with escalations as a strategy, and this escalation, I will say it and say it again, it does not mean that we are ignoring the risk. It is giving the risk to upper hand to handle it better than we are doing. Okay, when we do escalate, normally escalating with we can escalation for the risk when we cannot control it or we cannot treat it. And what this can happen? Let's say escalation for threats when the threats or when the effect of the risk is outside of our scope. When the impact is too large for us to handle, we don't have a budget for handle this strategy. Let's say that we can make a mitigation for this risk, but this mitigation will cost us, let's say that's $100,000. And all my budget as a project manager or as a manager, only $80,000. So I'll escalate this risk to the upper level to deal with. Another thing that I'm not responsible for each organization or each department in my organization. I cannot give orders for the HR to work with me. I cannot make the logistic work with me. I cannot ask let's say that any other department, the legal department, to work for me. So I need an upper hand to give orders for these people or make a plan or make anything for these people, for this other department to work with us in these escalations, on these threat solutions. For the opportunities, yes, we can sometimes escalate the opportunities for many reasons. One of them, maybe this benefit is behind our project objectives, but will be the benefit for my company. But it does not make any change for me. It will not be useful for me at all as a project manager. Or when I am a functional manager, even I found an opportunity doesn't relate to my department or doesn't make any profit to my department, but it might be well say for the construction people. So I pass it for the higher level and he escalated and will try to deal with it. Sometimes that, as we said, we don't also have the budget to have this opportunity. Sometimes opportunities need a budget to deal with it. Whether this was exploitation, we'll talk about this later, or maybe it need a higher authority than me to take it. Then we must, as I said, we must make sure that it is still an important risk and we must deal with it, even if we escalate it. We must be aware maybe it will come to our level one day, or maybe it is not that high, so must we start it well. Another thing that avoidance. In the threats avoid, when we avoid, by the way, everyone want to avoid the risk. It is normally, no one want to have risks. So avoidance is the best response, even for myself. But sometimes you cannot avoid. You cannot avoid, for example, that adoption of a new regulation or standards. You cannot avoid any legal requirement. So I'm confused now. Should I avoid or should I don't avoid? No, or you can only avoid a little things. You can only avoid the risk is coming from your idea. The risk is coming from inside your team. But you cannot avoid the risks coming from outside, external risks, or the risks will change the plan of the project if I've avoided, or the deliverable of the project. I cannot avoid this. I must take it and must find a solution for it. So, what is the kind of the risks coming from the new ideas? I think most of us here, project managers, start as a project managers. Every one of us, sometimes you want to make a fast track. I'm correct. Every one make a fast track. We all mean that this fast track will affect the quality if we are not aware of it. So if it is going to affect our quality, it's preferred not to use it. Sometimes you want to use a new technology, a new equipment, but we don't concern that this equipment must be find someone trained on it. Otherwise, I brought this risk to myself. This risk which I can avoid, nothing else. In other hand, we for the opportunity will find the exploit. Exploit strategy only when you sure you will going to have this opportunity. Don't waste your time or money. A small example, why will all of us take the BMB certificate? Because will have an opportunity in a company. Some other companies already we agreed to be hired in, but only we missing a certain certificate. Another things, all of the companies as contractor companies must be ISO certified. If you don't ISO certified, you will not take this project. So you have pay money to have these ISO certifications because when you have it, you will have another project. You are sure if you're going to do this strategy or if you're going to do this response, you will have this opportunity. In other hand, no, it will be not an exploitation. It will be something else called enhance. We'll talk about it now. But if you don't if you're not sure about taking this opportunity, then don't pay money for it. When you are doing this, you have to be sure of certain things. Maybe we found it in the another countries by yourself. Any plan you are making to take this opportunity must be legal, must be aligned with your company policy, align with your company strategy. Also, you must determine the return of the investment for it. You are paying money to have this opportunity. Like as I said that all of us passing the PMB certificate taken before a course, we pay a money for that. If this money will not return to us, I'm looking from the practical point of view, then why should I get it? Why should I pay money for this certification? The same for the ISO, the same. And we must be, when we talk about exploitation, it must be a certain numerical value. I pay this amount for money to obtain this opportunity, which will return to me with another amount of money. After this, we return to the stress strategies. Transfer. Transfer the risk to another third party. I think we're all doing this when we are going to any insurance company. When we have someone with a fixed price contract, then the daily wage, daily salary. But we have to be aware of some things. Not every third party is respectable. Not every insurance company has a good reputation. Otherwise, it will wasting our time, money, and will produce another risk as a secondary risk higher than the risk could we have if we didn't hire a third party at all. Also, when I make a fixed price with a contractor, for example, we must make sure this contractor is good because sometimes this contract itself it will hurt me but more than him. This is what we should take care about it. And in the other hand, we are talking about the opportunities is called sharing. When we share opportunities, I sometimes share the opportunity when it's bigger than my abilities. I want someone else with me to have a new branch, someone else with me to make a new franchises, for example. And this is come clear when you are establishing a partnership with someone, joint venture. But again, we must make sure this partner is legally approved. Also, it is not affecting my company strategy. And this share or this partnership must be reviewed not only by me as a manager, but the whole department, especially the legal department, the finance department, because you as a manager, me as a manager, even the CEO, by the way, he will not take it by himself. He must share this decision with a lot of people. Now we are talking about the mitigations. I think that's the most used strategy dealing with the threats. All of us we're using mitigation. What is the mitigation? Mitigation is like the reducing the impact or reducing the probability of the risk. As we said before, the risk is a function between two unknowns. One of them is the probability and the other one is the impact. Sometimes we cannot use the probability, so we can use the impact. Let's say, as we said, our last example, we were talking about the rainy days when he found a cloud. We cannot stop the rain, but we can reduce the impact by transferring our goods in the construction to a closed warehouse, not an open area, like the cement and the steel and something like this. We should to transfer it or to cover it at least from the rain. This is how we are going to reduce the impact, but you cannot reduce the probability itself in this case. If we can reduce the probability for other risk, we can reduce both. Why not go on? Now we are talking in the opposite side for enhancement as opportunity response plan. Enhance. It is the vice versa. We want to increase the probability. We want to increase the impact or take the most benefit of the impact. Sorry, I'm going to say again, this rainy day, we found a positive opportunity for the farmer. How can the farmer make a use of this raining? By making a new tunnels and channels. That will make him watering his land easier and faster. And that's how we can going to maximize the occurrence or maximize the impact of this risk. As long as we are going to deal with this strategy or make this strategy earlier, it will be better. Because the impact, if we, as we say that if we are taking to mind after it coming rains, what we are going to do, it will take a time. But if we're prepared when it rains for the for the mitigation, I must to cover the goods, and for the farmer, I must to make a channel. Then will not take me a time, and will make a more benefit from this opportunity, or to reduce the impact from these risks. Acceptance. The acceptance actually coming in one way. When the impact it is not higher than the value of the risk of the strategy. Let's say that already this impact has a low priority, or maybe has negligible impact on us. It will cost me about $100, but to solve this problem, I will pay $1,000. I don't think that is reasonable to make this, and I will leave this, but I must be watch it every time. Maybe it is maximized, maybe it will change for many reasons. We have two kinds for the acceptance: active acceptance and passive acceptance. Active acceptance when you are doing a strategy and unless if this impact increase or the probability increase, but you are not asking for contingency or budget for this plan or for this strategy. You just name it, you just write it. You just put it in port, but you don't ask a contingency for this risk. Doing nothing, as the man sitting on the chair, is doing nothing. He's just watching the risk until it passes. Nothing else to do. Any questions so far, or I continue? Right, I will continue. Now we finish all the strategies, we'll finish all the dealing with risks, we finish the assessment and the strategies for dealing with these risks. We have to monitor this risk. We have to make sure that we are solving the risk issues as we planned for. We have to make sure these planning are updated and being in progress, and everyone understand it, and everyone well known with it. Also, we must make it is known for everyone, as I said, but also something very important, by the way. We cannot control something until it's measured. The practice effective management requirement measurement or technical performance indicator or reverse consumption analysis. You cannot manage something or control something until you can measure these things. So I'm giving an example here. When we have a plan to control a machine failure, here we identify the risk that unexpected machine breakdown makes the production delay in products deliverable, allowing other competitors to have our market share and lose reputation. What is the risk control applications? We make a preventive control. This preventive control to terminate the risk or stop the risk, while coupled with the preventive maintenance like the oil change, part replacement to avoid any breakdown. We install surge protection to prevent damage from electrical faults. And also we have a corrective control. The corrective control to treat this impact. Maintain an on-site spare parts inventory. We must have spare parts so faulty components can replace immediately. Have a backup machine available. This is another solution over production if one fails. Another thing, it is directive control. We are transfer this risk to another things. Another thing, detective control. We have to tolerate it, detect quickly by still condition monitoring. And in this case, we can have a vibration analysis, overheating or unusual sounds, conduct a regular inspections. We make this plan after actually we assess the risks can happen, assessment for the risk, we make a strategies, we get out with the for these things. Monitoring sustained decision quality. These things support decision making. How can it support this? By implementing the structured evidence-based with the risk management process, organization can make a sound decision in both strategic and operational levels. Actually, we already have studying for the risks, we analyze the risks, we already make a visual for the risks effects by the heat map. Then we make a visualization for the stakeholders and transparency, and they have a good transparency and they make a confidence with their decisions. We have a time reliable insights, enabling them to make informed decision confidently. This ongoing risk management, ongoing risk avoidance or risk strategies makes the company have a progressive operations approach. When we have a look for the lesson learned for our and what happened, what will be happen, and how we can deal with every risk, we will not only reduce what we lost or the cost we lose, but also we can have a new opportunities and we can fostering both innovation and sustainable growth for the company itself. What is the conclusion for all of this? Actually, one conclusion for me, or from my point of view, I want everyone in the organization be aware with the risk management. Because as long as you are aware of the risk management, you can not be afraid to take any decision to get any new projects. And that's only will happen when you are using a good standard and a good knowledge. Also, you have to make internal and external audits and for the policies, and you have to the regulation of the ISO 19011 to know how to make the right audits for any system you made. People and cultures. Don't stop training your people. Don't stop giving them awareness. Make them aware of the risk management. Make them know the risk management. Make them know the safety and compliance capability. Make all the culture inside your organization following the risk management. Only for these objectives, if you know these objectives, you can pass a lot of the problems or a lot of the issues. Don't waste, don't stop using a new technologies. Don't stop using a new platform, automated control. Use your any new technology to make a detection, early detection for your fault or your issues and risks before it coming to be an issues. Thank you for now. I hope this will be fine with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayman, for this presentation. I think this is a very important topic for all industries and all organizational level. And I think it is important to understand how much risk management is important for all this industry. So I would like to ask if anyone has some questions, because during the presentation there were some comments or questions in the chat. Yes, we have comment from Martin. So nice presentation. Thanks.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you very much.
Anyone else wants to ask something or to give some comment or opinion? And okay, I would like to ask maybe what do you think that is most important lessons that maybe some young people need to know from related to risk management?
First of all, right. First of all, make sure that risk management actually it is a core for most of the projects innovations. Because why we are making a project to have an opportunity or to be aware from the risks or avoid the risks, threats to happening. Also, the risk assessment, by the way, it is the main things for all the standards we have. Why we are making standards? Why are making the guideline? Say about the mechanical engineer, my work, all of the manuals for the machines coming from the risk assessment. In construction work, all of the safety instruction coming from risk assessment. Even all the studies we have coming from risk assessment. Risk assessment is a crucial, by the way. You cannot be a project manager unless you are well known with the risk assessment. You cannot be a program manager if you don't know what is the risk assessment. At least you must respect the risk wherever you are. Why I'm sharing the standards, most common standard all over the world, because from my experience, I traveled to many countries. Each country that I hear another terminology is different than the others. So I want the BMI project management to be robust, to be strong. When you hear any another terminal, or in another terminology, make sure that it is already covered in your study about the project management or risk project management. You will hear after this enterprise risk project management. Don't worry, it is containing the same things we have, but we shouldn't be afraid to take a risk. If we don't take a risk with this, we're losing a lot of things. And it will lead you to a huge opportunity, huge of knowledge. So that is what I want every young one to know. Take the risk, run to the risks, but don't be a gambler. When you are well educated and familiar with the risks strategies, you are not a gambler. You are a risk taker, and there is a difference between both of them. That is the knowledge what give us, plus the experience. Well,
Do we have maybe okay, Thomas? Yeah.
Unmute. Okay, Ayman, I know you are leading a company in Egypt, which is dealing with ship repairs and ship maintenance and all this stuff. So that's one industry where you develop your views on risk management. But I think there are other industries which have different views. So I worked a lot in IT, developing software, and risk management. It was a topic, but it was not very taken sincerely. People somehow skipped over it, and I saw projects who did not risk management at all. How is it in other industries? Do you know some industries? And do we have maybe somebody here in the audience who is working in industry who takes a very specific and sincere focus on risk management?
actually, risk management, I think it is in each industry, even in the IT. We just give an example for the data loss. This is a crucial, by the way, nowadays. Maybe in the last days that we have another documentary systems, but now all of things related to the numerical control. Now a huge problem is coming for each one of us concerning the IT, also is the cybersecurity, sir. What is happening is that someone attacked your information, your data. The most thing now we are going to deal with, and maybe we have another webinar for this, using the AI. The AI actually can lie to you, by the way. This is a risk. You must make a risk plan when the AI is like to you or they give you a wrong information. I think most of us has deal with these things. You must choose a right prompt to have a right answer and so on, so on, so on, so on. Otherwise, you are facing a huge risk, a huge threat or opportunity. By the way, from the IT system, now we are using mobiles. Before we are using mobiles, we have a software for the laptops or the computers. When the mobile came, with the smart mobiles appeared, all of the IT companies or the companies who are using making a software, they turn to the mobile. They take this opportunity. The mobile is everyone's head. Now they are developing or making, of course, developing, as you know, developing a software for the smartphones. Each one have his own smartphone with a lot of the software and advertisement inside it. This is my point of view, but everyone found a certain amount in certainty in his department.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, I think Peter now agree with me, I think. Yes, cybersecurity. As I told you, sir, this is the IT system. Also, I think Almira working with the construction. The construction where we started the risk management, by the way, because it has a safety issues, daily safety issues. It has construction related to the resources. It has a risk about finding the right people in the right time, the right equipment in the right time. By the way, she is well known and better than me. The land when she is digging with excavators, not all the lands are the same. She must make a strategy to measure the hardness of each land. Am I correct, Almira, about this?
Yes.
Yes. All of these rules, by the way, came in from a risk assessment. Another people saying that what we are going to face. He get a lot of subject matter expert. They ask him, I will dig, say in Cairo, in Egypt, or in Berlin. What I'm going to face? Some people, this Berlin is a good sand. No, Egypt, you found some solid lands. Now in the Arab Emirates, you're building inside the water. You found another issues. All of this came from the risk assessment, by the way.
Mhm. So
And
Cecile commented here in the chat. She, as I know, you might not know, she's working in the nuclear decommissioning, so getting rid of nuclear waste. And she said even talking about it now is a risk in itself.
yes, of
You want
course.
to extend on that, Cecile?
Not much. Wait. So, do you hear me?
Yep.
I hear you.
Yeah. So the fact is, like, because of the nuclear field is highly regulated. First, if you want to like use a screwdriver close to, you have to write a procedure. So all the risks are exaggerated. In many cases, let's say 99% of the cases, the risks are over exaggerated. But we apply the procedures to the dot. On the other hand, the risk is very high, for instance, on company reputation, because they know if you do anything wrong, if let's say if there is the slightest incident, then you can ruin years of reputation and you can't make it back. So in this case, you cannot never mind. It's always taken seriously.
Yes.
So it's about what you say. There are some risks. You just have to weigh. Is it worth spending 10,000 euro to mitigate something? And in that case, even if the material consequence is 100 euro, you will spend the 10,000 to prevent the risk.
Yes, yes, I know. I didn't mean by this only the money. Sometimes the reputation costs you more.
Yeah,
If you
it
translate it
costs
to
much
money,
more. So
yes, it will cost you more than 100 euro. Yes. And I said that when I was talking, the reputation is the most risk I'm afraid of because it will not
yeah,
feedback, we cannot withstand it.
yeah,
But
you
let me tell
can
you
ruin a
something.
company. Yeah.
Yes, because you are familiar with the risk assessment, you make a plan for the trucks.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you didn't afraid to let the trucks go. That's what
Yeah.
I wanna share with. I wanna to make a point of view for everyone. Don't be afraid from the risks, but you have to study the risk itself. Don't be a gambler, but you can be a risk taker because sometimes you have to face a risk. If you're afraid of risk, then when you're facing an issue, you have no plan for it. This is will break you and break the organization, whether with the reputation or with the market share. A lot of all of us know about Nokia. What's happened to Nokia? They were afraid to have a new strategy, a new technology in their system. They lost a huge market share, by the way, until now. And it was not the problem of the CEO itself or the chairman itself. It was a problem of all of the staff. No one encouraged him. No one accepted the new point of view or the new strategies to work with. Everyone was afraid about the name of the Nokia. They are afraid if they are getting a new technology or a new product, they will lose their reputation. Actually, when they didn't, they lost it at all. And when it concerns about the reputation, yes, it's worthy. Some projects or some risk we have to take because, as I said, it's the rule. Whatever it costs us, it is a rule. It is a rule. It is adopting a new standard. What we are going to do about it? The reputation, it is very huge. If we calculate the impact and transfer it from high to a number, it will cost us more than 100 euro. It never costs 100 euro. So yes, I'm totally agree with you. It is not only about money, but we can transfer uh, the worst to money. like the medium high, the impact is very high, by the way, when it's concerning about the protection. The impact is a huge when it is about the human safety. But every one of us driving his car at the morning, and we are preventing a lot of risk until we reach to our works. How can we prevent this? By risk assessment? Every one of us taking his seatbelts at the beginning, make sure his brake is okay, make sure the all fluids in his engine is fine, make sure that he's obeying the traffic laws, and we reach. But if we are ignorant with this and taking these risks, then we are a gambler. Or we are not familiar with these laws, then we'll stay at home. We will not get out our home. I'm sorry to take it as a simple like this, but that is my point of view. I want everyone, take a risk as long as he can study the risk or analyze the risk to have a better situation. That's why I'm making in 4 objectives or 5 objectives. Everyone must be familiar with. I don't want to be a risk management professionals, by the way, but because you are not a risk management professional, that means you don't know about the risk. No, you have to know about the risk, read about the risk, attending to the risk webinars or something like this.
Okay. Thomas already shared our this mental results at the moment. So please, others, we have only 13 people who gave us a feedback, but if others also can provide how they feel now, what they think about language presentation, will they recommend these events to others, what they think about presenters, and it's of course interesting. So now I hope, Ayman, you're satisfied with this result until now.
Thank you, everyone, and I'm so happy to share with you.
So in the meantime, yes, until you provide us more feedback, I will share also other things if we don't have any more comments related to presentation. So, sorry. I would like to share. So Thomas provided with this link.
Yeah.
You will give us feedback. You can also scan this QR code if it's easier to send your opinion. Then I will give you now information about our next events. On 2nd of March, we have our online roundtable in Darmstadt. Then 11th of March, we will have one online webinar, Communication Driving AI Agents for Next Generation Project Management with Oliver Wilken. On 19th of March, we will have also one online chat with Sunil Prehara. And if you're interested for more events, you can check that on our link.
Let me ask a question here, Almira.
Yes, please.
Anybody doesn't know who Sunil Prashara is?
Sorry?
Does everybody know who Sunil Prashara is? Maybe
No.
not.
I know him.
So-
Yes, I know him. He's the previous chairman of the BMI, I think.
Exactly. So he is the previous CEO and president of the PMI Global. And so he left PMI 2.5 years ago, and he is now having business in Saudi Arabia. And it's the first time he is talking to former PMI members about, what he thinks about project management. So I think it will be a very nice and good chat. It's not a presentation, it's just a dialogue with him.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah.
So I shared also this link about our events if you want to check what we have in future period. And I would like to invite you to join us to be a part of something bigger, because at PMI Germany chapter, our local group Darmstadt represents diversity and collaboration. As I mentioned at the start, we are 7 volunteers from 6 different countries, and volunteering gives us strength to grow professionally, to learn from experienced practitioners, to give back to community, and to be a part of international network. If you would like to join our team or some other, you can do that. You can check what we have on our link. I will also send this link in chat. And at the end, this is our PDF code that you can use. So I would like to ask, do you have more questions, comments?
Maybe let me just welcome Francesco Renavide on this call, because it's his first time in our meetings. And I hope, Francesco, you are such satisfied that they will come again. And let me also mention, okay, you will come again? How is it?
Yes, I would like to join again.
Good. And you also joined just our local group in LinkedIn. Also, thank you for that. And I want to mention 3 persons. Jochen Eid, he's on the call. And Jochen, this is your,
Yes, sir.
according to my statistics, it's the 47th time that you joined our events here. And I want to congratulate
Yes.
you for that.
Yeah,
Very
thank
good.
you very much. So, yeah, thank you very much. So you are my most famous PMI chapter member. So we both are very long part of the PMI, I would say. You
Yeah,
are the most longest person on PMI Germany,
Well,
I
yeah.
assume.
Well, I joined PMI in 1992, and yes,
Wow.
this might be true.
Yeah,
So,
you are the first one. So I'm from 2004.
yeah. Well, this was a good time from 2000, because the membership and volunteers, they exploded globally within PMI. And you know, the root cause, in my view, and I observed this at these times, was that PMI was going global. All the chapter landscape, now we have over 300 chapters globally, and they drive membership, and and also the value to members, because you can see other people, like in our group. We have people from Lebanon, from Macedonia, Germany, and so on. That's very valuable.
Yeah, so in 2000, so PMI was most famous and is a hard requirement for some US companies to get big projects assigned. So therefore, it's a hard requirement still. Yeah, thank you very much for pointing out to me. Yeah.
My pleasure, Jochen. Let me also mention 2 other people. Maybe you are surprised. So these 2 people I mentioned because both of them have attended now 36 times. So it's still 11 behind you, Jochen. But and the first is Arun Ramesh, who is a guest of our webinars very often. Hello, Arun. And the other one is Tobias Becker.
Yes, Thomas.
Who's also there. Hello to Tobias, and congrats and thank you for joining us, and for I'm certainly sure for appreciating our
No, honestly, this is the best group across Europe that I've identified, and ever since I stick to this sessions of your team, Thomas. So I've been frequently visiting here and then getting knowledge, enhancing my knowledge, and other participants, also the hosts who give us some kind of project management skills and ongoing tech participants. So I'm really thankful for that. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron. And thank you, Tobias, again. Okay, sorry, Almira.
It's fine, no problem. It's always nice to hear something from you and this
Yes.
some interesting things that I didn't know. And of course, thank you very much. And thank you also for this opportunity that I am a part of PMI Germany chapter from this local group, Darmstadt. I'm very proud on that. And in this maybe few months, 6 or how much, I really learned a lot and have a big support from Thomas and my other colleagues from group. So thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Almira. And
Okay,
in
everyone.
the end, thanks, Ayman, again for preparing this public speech here. I know it was challenging, and I think you did quite well. And I'm expecting more of these speeches in a lot of occasions.
Yes, I will be happy for this, and I will be honored for this, sharing with my knowledge with some great chapter, like German chapter. Of course, you, Thomas, the best one of us, and the best expert here in this chapter. We are learning from you. Thank you, Almira, for moderating this webinar. You were perfect, and I want to appreciate everyone was listening to my webinar, and I hope it was useful for you. And for any other further questions, I just shared my LinkedIn and my email for any questions, and I will be willing to answer any question for them. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you also, Ayman. It was really my pleasure to be a moderator for this presentation. It's provided by you, and we will, of course, share this presentation that is recorded through YouTube and on our PMI website, and we will send email about to share your email and your LinkedIn profile with people who joined us tonight. And thank you, all of you, because you were here with us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I wish you good night if there is no more comments.
You all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.